Ever wondered where Dracula first set foot on English soil? Then join us on an unforgettable road trip up the stunning Yorkshire coast. We'll start in the shadowy, smuggling past of Robin Hood's Bay, journey through historic towns and hidden gems, and even search for a lost medieval village. And of course, our ultimate destination, Dracula's Abbey. As our previous video ended at Flamborough Head, that is where we'll begin this adventure today.
There is a seal there. I don't think we've actually ever seen them like swimming around like today.
No. And on the way to Whitby, we passed the iconic Robin Hood's Bay and just couldn't resist a stop here. So just walking through all the small side streets at the moment, I must say it's one of the most picturesque villages I think we've been in. Around every corner is just a perfect photo opportunity. You really feel like you've stepped back in time. Probably helped by all these really narrow cobbled streets. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Robin Hood's Bay was notorious as the busiest smuggling hub on the Yorkshire coast. Its secluded location, steep cliffs and maze of narrow winding alleys and hidden passages made it the perfect place for storing and moving these goods. That's the problem, Ellie. We walk down, we have to go back up.
I know, it's fine, as long as I'm not driving.
From here we headed inland to a real hidden gem that I've been excited to see for many years now, but only now actually made my way there. So you join us climbing what may not seem like quite a steep hill, but it does go on for quite a while. So what you can see behind me are the remains of this deserted medieval village that actually dates back to, in its prime, around 1300. The remains of this church are all we can see today, but I mean, it's a pretty spectacular place. Wharram Percy is widely recognised as Europe's best known and most extensively studied deserted medieval village. Over 200 people were living here in this village's prime, but around this church there are over 700 skeletons found, so this village was very populated for many, many years. And you can even see remains of the wider village in all of the landscaped hills in this area. While the Black Death in the mid-14th century caused some population decline here, the main cause was the increasing profitability of sheep farming. Landowners converted farmland into sheep pastures, leading to the eviction of villagers to make way for yet more sheep. The phrase that is often used to describe this village's demise is "the town that the sheep ate," which I think sums it up perfectly. As we arrived in Whitby, we were charmed by its bustling streets and lively waters. We even got some much needed food here. Oh, look at that.
That looks great.
All the while looking up at the Gothic ruins on the cliffs above. There's one thing I remember from when we visited Whitby before, and it was this seemingly endless staircase from the abbey to the town.
Well, we're going actually on the slow path. There are actual stairs on our own.
We'll survive.
Well, a little bit.
Bram Stoker visited Whitby in August 1890 and was inspired by the noble ruin of the abbey, as he put it. Whilst researching around Whitby, Bram Stoker found a book by a British consul living and working in Bucharest, which mentioned a 15th century prince named Vlad Țepeș, also known as Vlad the Impaler, who ruled over Wallachia, part of modern-day Romania.
It's a very nice abbey, and it's cool that it's linked to, Dracula's story. You can have your Gothic fantasy.
Does this old train station look familiar to you? Maybe because one of its most famous roles is as Hogsmeade Station in the first Harry Potter film. But it's much more than that. It's part of the North York Moors Railway, and it boasts classic Victorian architecture, lovingly preserved. It really feels like a little bit of a step back in time. There's not really anywhere you could look that would give away that you haven't just travelled back 60 years, which I think is very rare. So this really finishes off our quite train-orientated trip. Maybe there hasn't been much on show in this video, but in York we visited the National Railway Museum, and yeah, this feels like just really amazing to see the trains in action, not just preserved stationery in a warehouse. If you do want to learn more about everything this wonderful part of England has to offer, in the next video in this small series we are heading into York, including the National Railway Museum and learning about the incredible history of Britain's rail network. As well as much more, including the magnificent York Minster, the narrow cobbled street known as the Shambles, and really getting lost in this busy and bustling city. If you want more of a nature escape, then feel free to check out the previous video in this series where we were exploring all across Flamborough Head in search of shipwrecks, seals, birds. So we're also on the lookout for puffins because it is late spring at the time of filming this, and Flamborough Head is actually quite well known. See birds all over these cliffs, but we can't quite tell what they are, so let's try and get a bit closer. Down here. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. And some of the most beautiful coastal scenery we've seen in a long time, and an amazing adventure too. Well, these rocks are pretty slippery, and it's as expected. As long as I don't fall into this, we're okay. Honestly, these caves go back much further than you would expect at points. Wow, that's amazing. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please feel free to leave a like and consider clicking that subscribe button if you want to see more. It really does mean a lot, and we always have more content coming up from all over the UK and Europe too. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.